No one wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders right now, man. No one wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders right now, man.
This behavior has got to stop in 2018. Actually, the sad part is that it most likely will only intensify. First off is allowing the MMA, UFC commentators to actually speak about boxing. However, the scary part is that Dana White had a meeting and is supposed to have more meetings with Mayweather and Al Heyman.
You know, I've been very honest about it. I'm getting into Boston. I want to get into boxing, and in 2018, the next couple of months, I'm meeting with everybody from the boxing world, and you know, I'm meeting with Team Mayweather too. Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight champion from England, I think he's the most marketable fighter in boxing right now. You know, he's a good-looking guy. He looks like a heavyweight champion. He's his last fight with Klitschko was awesome. Listen, if you can make a fight with the Klitschko's exciting, you're good.
So unfortunately, it looks like there may be a merger or a co-promotion between the UFC and Mayweather Promotions, which cannot be good. Anyways, what really pisses me off is when the media says Dana puts on the best fights or makes the best fight the best in his league or in the UFC, which is complete BS.
Floyd Mayweather has said he's not fighting in UFC, but you said you have a meeting later today with his camp. What can you tell us about that?
I have a meeting with those guys. I haven't kept it a secret that I'm looking at boxing. I'm looking to get into boxing in 2018, and you know, I'm pretty much meeting with everybody in the business, and including those guys. So
okay, the reason why I find that interesting, Dana, because you're known for getting fights done. And so if you get into this world of boxing, fights that need to be done will be done. And so that's why I'm curious as to what we can expect if the president of the UFC merges into the world that usually gives us a bit of a hassle, some red tape. We want to see these fights be made.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, that would be my goal. If I get into boxing, I would look to put on the biggest and the best fights possible, and hopefully make some matchups that people want to see, whether it includes, you know, Mayweather or whoever.
I mean, he cannot even get Conor to defend his title. Conor has never in the history defended either of his titles in the UFC. So by the media saying that he can force these fighters somehow to fight or he can put on the biggest fight is a complete lie. Further, you can see the guys in the UFC, a lot of them anyways, don't even respect Dana. I mean, you can tell by just looking at these tweets. And, you know, if he's doing something with Mayweather, it's going to be a complete circus anyways. Anyways, getting back on track. The first thing that has to stop in 2018 is this type of stuff.
But also, to that point, Billy Joe Saunders was like, Eubanks Jr. what? And then beat the brakes off him.
Did you see Billy Joe Saunders?
I didn't see that. Against Lemieux?
Yeah, against
Who's
Lemieux.
going to beat him?
He's amazing.
He might be able to beat Triple G.
He's amazing.
Dude, he's ridiculous.
His fucking jab
He's
is
one of
a
my
thing of
faves, man.
beauty.
The best, right?
He would just plop that sucker in there, pop, and then it'd be left, right.
Dude,
here we go.
This world title fight. Homeboy misses with a huge swinging like right hand. He goes like this into the stands, like he misses it. Yeah, just puts on the brakes.
Billy Joe looks like as if, who are you trying to hit?
Is Saunders from Wales?
He's a gypsy.
Yeah. He's a gypsy, but he's from the UK.
Are you allowed to say gypsy?
Yeah,
traveler. For now, traveler. You gotta be careful.
I called Fury a gypsy, and a legit like traveler came up to the show and was like, "Traveler, quit calling us gypsies." I was like, they don't like gypsy. Billy Joe Saunders, though, if you don't know, look him up, man. Boxing needs that guy.
The David Lemieux fight on HBO was a goddamn work of art. It was a goddamn work of art.
And now he's campaigning for Triple G. And Billy Joe Saunders Lemieux. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo. He's so much bigger than Canelo. No one wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders right now, man.
Dude, the Lemieux fight, if you can get that, was one of the best fights because Lemieux is a legit world contender.
Yeah, but the thing with Billy Joe Saunders, if his highlights, they do him justice somewhat, but he always steps up to the level of competition. So you might watch him against a guy, like, he looks all right. But then when Chris Eubanks Jr., you look at him against Lemieux, like, holy fuck, this guy's world class.
Yeah, here's Saunders against Eubanks Jr.
He will fight to whoever his level's at.
Yeah,
that's why I think he's big too for the weight class. So a Triple G or Canelo, you got to fight on him.
He's big and he's so fucking smart, man. The big thing is how smart he is. I mean, his ring IQ and his ability to not get hit is so exceptional.
He steps just back,
and look how he changes it up. He goes to the head, he goes to the body. He's an artist, man, a real artist. It's really fun watching him. Beautiful left hand.
And he has a personality
that
boxing needs.
Talks mad shit. Talks mad shit.
He told Lemieux he has some extra pants from his son they can wear because Lemieux's short. Just kept talking shit to him nonstop. And he's also best friends with Fury. So they're like
perfect.
Batman and Robin. They're fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, I was surprised that they referred to him as a gypsy on the HBO broadcast.
You're not supposed to.
I think that was Jim Lampley too, though.
Sounds
Jim
romantic.
Lampley's an older fellow.
I thought gypsy's a cool word, but
I think so too.
If you go over to London, they told me not to say it.
Now, what are these guys talking about? I watched this fight several times, and Billy Joe did not look that good. Or at least he didn't look so good that Triple G needs to be worried about him, as they say. I mean, and then the Schaub guy is horrible, is absolutely terrible. I mean, just having to listen to him the whole lead up to the McGregor versus Mayweather fight, talking about Conor just needs to land one shot to end the fight. And then after the fight, he was insistent that Conor actually was winning the fight up until he was stopped, which is just more complete BS that needs to stop and cannot continue in 2018. And the worst part is that both of these guys are huge Ward fans. And I don't even think they watch Ward. They just have heard that he is a pound per pound best, so they continue to recite that.
And Andre Ward, to me, he's just a bigger version of Floyd Mayweather. Like, his defense is insane, but he has knockout power. He hasn't lost since he's 13.
Right. What I like about Ward is his intelligence. He's so smart, and you hear it when he does commentary.
Yeah.
He's so aware, and he fights so smart.
Yeah.
He's just a very clever guy.
Yeah.
And everything he does, he makes it awkward. He fights different almost every fight. Sometimes he fights on the outside. Sometimes he sticks to you like glue. He's a very interesting fighter.
The next thing that has to stop, in my opinion, is the continued insistence that Rigondeaux beat Lomachenko. It was just the size differential that was too much for Rigo to overcome. Or I should say that Rigo is better than Lomachenko. It's just that Lomachenko is so much bigger. I mean, we saw Floyd talk about how small. He's never fought such a small guy. Whatever way you look at it, Rigo quit, so there's no real excuse. I mean, that should be an end of the story. I don't think Rigo's going to push for a rematch. Rigo really has no excuse. There should be no further discussion. I mean, Rigo had a bruised hand. I mean, look at guys like Margarito. I actually thought Margarito was going to die in there. His face was actually broken. Manny Pacquiao literally broke his face. And Margarito continued to fight, which was a bad call. Garcia should have thrown in the towel, but regardless, Margarito definitely had more than a bruised hand. Anyways, the real problem is that I hope the UFC and boxing do not have a merger. The lies these commentators will tell will only get worse. I mean, can you imagine if they actually hire either of these two guys to commentate on boxing matches? I mean, these guys actually seem to compete to see who can stroke Conor the most. I mean, I can't even imagine if they're in boxing. And then I don't know what they were having a discussion about Gypsy. I mean, that's what Fury calls himself. So I don't know if he would take it as an insult. But anyway, just a side note. Anyways, let's hope Dana does not get into promoting boxing. And let's hope that neither of these two guys get hired in 2018. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Take care. Have a great day.
For me, it's like we're under like a dictatorship. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it, man. Dana White is a fucking dictator, bro. The motherfucker's like Hitler, bro. He's like the Hitler of MMA. You know what I mean? Like, he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants and not taking into consideration fighters and their families, their situation, things of that nature.
No one wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders right now, man.